Today I'm in an abstract kind of mood. So this video is going to be some of the reasons why we should love abstract photography. I hope you'll enjoy it. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. One of the things to love about abstract photography is there's so many different ways to achieve a result. It can be as simple as just photographing something from a different angle. It can involve doing an extreme close-up of something, maybe even macro. You can use long exposures to create motion and blur, which can turn an ordinary scene into something strange and mysterious. You can use double exposures, you can use multiple exposures, and of course you can use ICM, intentional camera movement. These are all ways, and I'm sure they're not the only ones, but these are all ways that you can turn something very ordinary into something which hopefully is a bit of abstract art. I think I've got something here. There's a chunk been ripped off. It looks like a branch or something has been ripped off of this tree, leaving this coloured, patterned, almost a section through showing the layers. A bit like if you had the rings, but this is in the opposite direction. And I'm thinking, zoomed in, bringing out all of those textures and patterns in there. That could make for a nice abstract image. So we're going to go for a long focal length so that I can kind of fill the frame with this and try and keep any kind of extraneous bits out of the way. I'm going to bump my ISO up because I'm shooting handheld, very close in. This is going to be about the detail, so I'm going to bump my ISO up so I can keep my exposure time nice and fast to make sure it's sharp. I'm going to take my sunglasses off so I can see what I'm doing. I think I'll use the viewfinder because it's a bit more steady. I'll get a little bit closer in. Closer works. Something else to love about abstract photography is that you can go a bit mad in the editing side of things as well as in terms of what you shoot. And what I mean by that is if you take a landscape image and you increase the vibrance or the saturation or the contrast too much, then the image immediately looks wrong. You know, looking at it, that it just doesn't look realistic. And other people will look at it and feel the same way, even though they may not have been there, may not know the scene, may not know what the conditions are actually like. They kind of know what to expect from that kind of scene. But with an abstract image, well, they've got no frame of reference. You don't actually know exactly what it is anyway, so how can you tell what's real or not real? What I found here is this tree which has got this kind of fine feathery foliage on it, and it's kind of greens and yellows. There's a few darker branches coming through. I'm thinking long focal length. I'll put on a 6-stop ND filter to try to get an exposure time around about 1 or 2 seconds, which is going to let me capture the blur as the wind is moving this around. I'm almost certainly going to have some ICM effect in there as well, although it's more like unintentional camera movement, because I'll just be just from normal camera shake from holding the thing. So it's going to be zoomed a fair way in. Wait for the wind to blow. worth taking a few shots as the wind goes, you know, faster and stronger. Trying to keep some of the branches in there to provide a little bit of extra kind of contrast in there, because they're quite dark compared to the lightness of the leaves. Oh, now that wind's blowing a bit. Another thing to love about abstract photography is it's not location dependent. If you're doing landscape photography, you have to go to a specific place. That might mean traveling some distance. You might have to walk or hike some distance as well. You may have to deal with challenging terrain. You may have to deal with challenging environmental conditions, wind, rain, whatever else it might be. None of that applies necessarily to abstract photography. Now, I've chosen to come out on a walk today, not because I need to do the walk to do abstract photography, but actually because I wanted to go for a walk and I decided to make the video while I was out doing it. But you can do abstract photography pretty much anywhere. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, I was in a supermarket. And I hate supermarkets. I was very bored. And then I happened to notice that one of the glass tops on one of the freezers had got some ice forming on it. So I grabbed my phone and I took 3 images of the ice. And when I got home, I made a little triptych of them. And this is it. And I've got to say, I absolutely love this. I mean, you can tell that it's ice, so is it actually an abstract? I don't know. But you wouldn't know unless I just told you that it was shot on the top of a freezer in a supermarket. I've been looking to do something using these kind of grassy, sort of feathery tufts that are sticking up, particularly now there's some quite nice light on them. I mean, as an image on their own, I'm not sure that they're particularly effective, but maybe with some blur added, with a longer exposure or a bit of intentional camera movement, they might be. So we're going to have a go at that. So I think what we need to do is blur it, make it an abstract by putting on a filter. So I'm going to pop on, try a 6 stop. And again, this is going to be one of those where it's going to be partially blur because of the long exposure and the wind moving things, and part of it's obviously going to be blur from my camera shake, if you like, because I know I'm going to hold it steady. So we've got now about 2.5 seconds, maybe a bit less, 2 seconds. Wind's blowing a bit. Oh, that wind's blowing nicely now. Let's try that. One more reason to love abstract photography. Not everybody is going to like the images. Some people will look at them and will see something in them that they like. Other people will look at them and just see a mess. So why is that a good thing? Well, I don't know about you, but for me, I quite like the idea of producing images that divide opinion. It means I'm doing something different, I'm doing something creative, I'm doing something that not everybody gets, but some people do. And I quite like that idea. I've got something down here. It's another one of these bits of branch that have been cut off. It's low to the ground. It's an oval shape, but there's a strangely symmetrical pattern of cracks running through it and some nice colour. The background is going to be quite dark, but the actual face of the sawn off bit is you know, quite bright. So this is a, you know, long lens. Okay, that's me about done. I hope you've enjoyed my little excursion into the reasons why I think we should love abstract photography, and I hope that at least some of you will like the images that I've managed to produce today. I know they won't be for everybody, and to be honest, one of the fun things about this is sometimes you don't even know if they're going to work yourself, but we'll see what's happened. I hope you've enjoyed coming along. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, bye.